I'm Nancy from Maplewood Homestead, and in today's video I want to share with you some of the things that we've done to save costs on our little farm. I want to share with you 3 common recyclable items that you can get for little to no money that'll save you a ton when setting up your farm. Living in the South, we quickly realized that trampolines and storms don't mix. So we have 3 recycled trampolines here on our property. Let me show you what we use them for. Our pasture area has very little tree cover. And we had the issue of not having any shade for the animals when they were out here. So we took our first wrecked trampoline and took the poles, this middle section of poles was actually up on top holding the net up. Put them underneath, attach them to the legs, elevating it. And that's elevated to about, I'd say, 6 feet. The actual trampoline itself provides about 80% to 90% shade underneath. In the summertime, we'll put their troughs there. It helps to keep the water a little bit cooler, and the animals like to congregate and lay under here to be out in the sunshine with the fresh air, but not in the direct sun. So that's use number 1 for a wrecked trampoline. So another project that we use our old trampolines for is this. This is actually a secondhand coop that we purchased about 5 years ago. We combined it with the trampoline, wrapped the trampoline in the same no-climb fence that we put around our property, and then put hardware cloth around the bottom. And there are 2 purposes that we use it for on our farm. And when we go to breed out either our Orpingtons or our Bielefelders, we'll take the roosters in the hands of each and leave them in there and collect the eggs, and then bring the eggs into the incubator. Once those chicks are old enough to be introduced to the flock, they'll be brought back out here and put back in the same area that their parents had been in. Sassy, where are the babies? What'd you do with the babies? Huh? When you introduce new chicks or pullets into a flock, you've got to put them in an area where they can... Excuse me, I'm trying to film here. Mama's over here. Mama's over here. She's over here. Okay, let me try this again. When introducing new chicks or pullets to a flock, you have to put them in an area where they can see the old flock and the old flock can see them. It helps them to adjust, and after about a week you can let them out to be with each other and you won't have any fighting. What are you doing, Finley? Are you gonna jump up there? Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. The last way we used our old trampoline was we use it back in our chicken yard, not only for shade, but I have seen them use this as protection from hawks. Again, they actually do have some trees in the area over here as opposed to the other little pasture area, but I have heard hawks screaming and watched them all run underneath here. Plus in the summertime, it's a way for them to get out of the heat. So it serves a double purpose back here as well. Maple would like to show you an example that, yes, even the goats can use it as shade too. Right, Maple? And Thor. Hi, Thor. That's 3 ways we use old trampolines. On to the next money-saving tip. Hey, Maple. One of the other things we do is we build as much as we can with recycled materials. Number 1 being the blue barrel troughs. We can get these food grade blue barrels locally off of Facebook Marketplace. And what we do is we cut them so we use them as water troughs. So we actually cut them in thirds. So this is the bottom third, and it's just tall enough for all of the animals to be able to access it. So the goats and the dogs obviously share this. Not only do we use it as a watering trough, but we use it as a way to keep the chicken water up off the ground so it doesn't get as disgusting. They'll make a mess of it anyway, but it seems to be a lot less so when it's elevated like this. Another way we use the blue barrow is we use it as waterers for the pigs. As you can see, one of the traditional troughs that I just told you about, cut a little bit lower, serves as a really good trough for the pigs to get their head into. We did create the barrow one with the water nipple, but of course that one's easier and so they prefer it. Right, David?
Right.
They know you got the good stuff. That's what's going on. They see that red bucket. Are you ready, Maple? You are? I don't blame you. Our stanchion is mostly made of pallets. If you look very closely, you can see where she puts her head is the bottom part of a pallet, and other pieces of the pallet, and other pieces like this are scrap wood that we got from people. So this entire thing, the only cost for it was the pad that she's standing on because we didn't want milk to soak into it, and we cut it down. That cost us $20. And the feed bucket, which cost us $10. So not counting the cost of screws to put it together, this entire stanchion cost us approximately $30. That's not all we've made from pallets. This is Prince's Palace, made primarily from pallets, but as you can see, some 4x8s in the back that somebody was getting rid of. We just got online and asked people if we could have any and all scraps that they have, and this entire buck hut cost me the price of a box of screws in an afternoon. Not really a need, but more of a want for the goats. We have a friend that works for the electric company, and we're able to get a hold of some of these electrical spools. So very cool. The goats appreciate it. Don't be afraid to ask friends for pieces of scrap wood that they have laying around. You'd be surprised at what some people call scrap wood. These are only a few of the things that we've done to cut costs here on our farm. I hope they're helpful to you, and if they are, please consider liking and subscribing. And we'll see you next time for more great content from Maplewood Homestead.